I pulled up the European extended model this morning, and what I saw genuinely stopped me cold. Arctic air could dominate the eastern U.S. all the way into mid-July, not just June, mid-July. 4 Arctic air masses are lined up like freight trains aimed directly at the East Coast. Meanwhile, 4,000 joules of storm fuel is primed across Nebraska and Kansas for Saturday. A senior forecaster called today's Omega blocking pattern one of the most stubborn in recent May history. An Omega block has locked a massive ridge over southern Canada and the upper Midwest. Flat out, that ridge is blocking all storm systems from crossing the plains into the Great Lakes. Instead, 2 cutoff lows are spinning, one off the west coast and one over New England. The result is daily severe weather for the center and south of the nation going forward. Good Lord, this is the most unusual May blocking pattern forecasters have tracked in years. Today, the dry line activates across West Texas and western Oklahoma starting around 4 p.m. Wind gusts approaching 70 to 75 miles per hour are possible near Midland, Leah, and the Amarillo area. No joke, 75 miles per hour is fast enough to overturn livestock trailers and collapse older metal structures. Damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes are all possible through 9 p.m. tonight. Rick, a retired rancher near Lubbock, if equipment is still outside, get it in before 3 p.m. Southeast Utah, Idaho, and Montana also carry an isolated storm threat this afternoon. Denver and the Front Range are in a marginal risk today for isolated hail and afternoon storms. Billings, Great Falls, and Missoula, Montana, your wind threat peaks Friday evening, fading by midnight. Lock in right now. Saturday, May 30th is the most dangerous day of this entire holiday weekend. A negatively tilted trough ejects from Utah through Wyoming into the Dakotas Saturday afternoon. Flat out, a negatively tilted trough gathers far more atmospheric spin than a normal trough. That trough activates the dry line and fires scattered severe weather from Nebraska through Texas. Rapid City and South Dakota sit in the slight risk zone. An upgrade is possible before Saturday. The SPC marginal spans from southeast Montana down through Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas Saturday. No joke, 4,000 joules of CAPE lights up the charcoal white zone on Saturday's instability maps. Those 4,000 joule values rival the strongest tornado outbreak environments of the past decade. Supercells are possible Saturday afternoon with winds over 75 miles per hour across the Central Plains. A bow echo could sweep South Dakota and Nebraska Saturday evening with destructive winds. Earl, a retired rancher near Rapid City Saturday, is your shelter drill day, plain and simple. Instability today tops 2,000 joules. Saturday hits 4,000. Both are in the significant severe range. Today's storms clear by 11 p.m., but Saturday fires up again as soon as the sun climbs. The Omaha area should stay on alert both Saturday afternoon and Sunday evening, back-to-back severe days. Southeast Montana along the Wyoming border is also inside the Saturday marginal risk zone. Leave your city in the comments. I will pull the latest model data for your area tonight. Pause right here. What the European extended model shows for June and July is genuinely alarming. The European model suggests the east stays colder than normal all the way into mid-July. Not just June, but into mid-July. I have never seen this pattern outside fall or winter. 4 distinct Arctic air masses are lined up in models, taking turns slamming the eastern U.S. Backdoor flow from the northeast flat-out funneling Canadian air south keeps the cold reloading. It has reloaded 4 separate times already, and each surge is as deep as the last. The European extended range locks in cold east, warm west through mid-July. That is extraordinary. The June departure is 8 to 15 degrees below normal from Maine to Virginia first week alone. Baltimore, Philadelphia, and D.C. could see afternoon highs only in the 50s on June 3rd and 4th. Boston and Providence, Rhode Island face their coldest first week of June since at least 2002. The Great Lakes, Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, Chicago run 10 to 12 degrees below normal next week. Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and Great Lakes are the bullseye for this prolonged below-normal pattern. All of this while the Pacific Northwest soars 10 to 15 degrees above normal for the same dates. We can see one of the coldest Junes on record, maybe the coldest summer in history. Betty, a retired schoolteacher in Buffalo, asked if summer is canceled. Honestly, it might feel that way. Here's what makes this pattern wild. The precipitation picture is just as extreme. The GFS shows a dramatic horseshoe of dry conditions across the Mid-Atlantic and upper Midwest. Inside that horseshoe, some locations see less than 1 inch of rain total over 2 weeks. Around that dry pocket, 5 to 8 inches of rain are possible, no two ways about it. New England, deep southeast, southern plains, and offshore waters all see the heavy side. Baton Rouge, Nashville, Atlanta, and Jacksonville, y'all are in the wet zone, drought improving. Texas averaged 4.2 inches below normal rainfall over the past 90 days. That drought ends this week. Upper Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, the drought is about to get significantly worse. Good grief, European and GFS both scream the same precipitation story, and that is a credible signal. Sunday, May 31st, the final day of May heads up. The threat shifts north and east. For Sunday, no joke, Omaha could see supercells produce baseball-sized hail Sunday evening. The Monday, June 1st pattern shows a weak low developing off the southeast coast. Tropical watch begins. South Florida faces daily heavy rain and flooding from June 1st through at least June 7th. Georgia and the Carolinas will see tropical moisture Monday night. Heads up, flash flood risk elevated. The Mississippi River Valley from Memphis through New Orleans faces above normal flooding risk through June 8th. Sunday's severe zone extends from the Dakotas through eastern Nebraska into Iowa and Missouri. Omaha could be ground zero for stronger thunderstorms Sunday evening with damaging winds. Kansas City, Missouri sits right in the Sunday storm corridor. Heads up for late afternoon. Higher elevation snow is possible Sunday in western Montana, 1 to 2 inches at elevation. Montana has been flat out bone dry, and this weekend finally delivers 1 to 2 inches of rain. The Tennessee Valley, Chattanooga, Nashville, Cookeville faces flash flooding risk through tomorrow, no joke. Atlanta, Gainesville, and Savannah, Georgia are in the soaking rain zone through the weekend. Florida's east coast from Jacksonville to the Space Coast should watch for flash flooding Sunday. Are you in the Southeast, Plains, or Great Lakes? Leave your city below for tonight's updates. This forecast covers 3 completely separate threats happening in the same holiday weekend simultaneously. Every part of this pattern affects a different 50 million Americans. This is a nationwide event. Here's the global piece. I kid you not, this one ties everything together for June. A typhoon is developing in the West Pacific and will recurve toward Japan in the North Pacific. Sea surface temps in the West Pacific are running 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above long-term average. When that typhoon energy hits the North Pacific, it forces a complete U.S. pattern flip. That flip forces a ridge to build over the western U.S. starting around mid-June. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and British Columbia get the heat dome, good Lord, by mid-June. That heat dome drives northwest flow across the plains, and northwest flow means severe weather season. The positive Pacific meridional mode off Baja enhances the subtropical jet, keeping Gulf moisture active. Arctic east to western heat dome in early June, I kid you not, that is historically rare. Let me walk you week by week through exactly what models are showing for June. Week 1, June 1st through 8th, above normal rainfall for Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and the Gulf Coast. That is critical drought relief for Texas and Louisiana. Both are 4 inches below normal since March. Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston could see 2 to 4 inches of rain in early June. Week 2, June 8th through 15th, the moisture opportunities open northward into the Ohio Valley. Good grief, week 2 is the flip window, and that northwest flow arrival changes everything. Models show 2 to 4 inches of rainfall possible for the Ohio Valley during the week 2 window. Week 3, June 14th through 21st, the northwest flow storm track locks in, plain and simple. No joke, June 8th is the single most important date on the 2026 summer weather calendar. After June 8th, the plains start seeing northwest flow. Severe weather corridors reactivate weekly. Chicago, Indianapolis, and Columbus, Ohio expect severe weather opportunities to increase after June 8th. Late June, monsoon over Arizona and New Mexico brings the highest lightning risk of the year, no joke. New Mexico and Colorado see the most lightning strikes per square mile of any U.S. states in July. Oklahoma City and Wichita should expect above normal rainfall every week from mid-June through July. Not gonna lie, this summer shapes up to be one of the most memorable severe weather years. Great Lakes and Ohio Valley see their best June rainfall during week 3 heads up. East Coast temperatures finally moderate as the Arctic influence weakens during week 3. Week 4, June 21st through 30th, monsoonal flow develops across New Mexico and Colorado. Albuquerque averages just 0.6 inches of rain in June. The monsoon triples that in July. The Father's Day weekend window around June 20th through 22nd shows above normal Midwest precipitation. Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio mark June 20th through 25th as your first significant rain chance in weeks. The 4th of July window looks hot and stormy for the plains with monsoonal moisture lifting north. Kansas City, St. Louis, and Indianapolis, the July 4th window has elevated severe weather potential. I need to come back to something the Derecho threat for this summer nobody is discussing enough. A derecho is a fast-moving storm complex covering hundreds of miles with destructive straight-line winds. Peak derecho season this summer runs mid-July through mid-August, roughly the 15th to the 15th. The highest risk corridor runs from Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri into Indiana and Kentucky, 6 states. That corridor sits right in the bullseye for the northwest flow storm track after the pattern flip. Orange derecho risk extends from North Dakota and northern Minnesota through northern Arkansas, 6 states total. Heads up the Cumberland Plateau near Gatlinburg and Michigan's Upper Peninsula are in derecho risk. A derecho produces 70-plus miles per hour gusts across a swath 100 or more miles wide in one event. Mark my words, anyone in the Midwest Corn Belt needs a severe weather plan before mid-July. Derecho events in the Corn Belt can flatten standing crops across 200,000 acres in a single evening. Grain storage facilities, livestock shelters, and farm buildings are all at risk during derecho events. The 2020 derecho across Iowa produced gusts of 130 miles per hour, the strongest straight-line wind on record. If you live in the derecho corridor, have a storm-hardened shelter and a battery backup radio ready. Frank, a retired farmer near Des Moines, asked about grain bin risk this summer. Absolutely yes. Hurricane season officially opens Sunday, June 1st, and something is already lurking in the tropics. Atlantic Maine Development Region waters are cooler than normal because of El Nino. Good news overall. Gulf of Mexico, Western Caribbean, and West Atlantic have warm water. Good grief, that supports homegrown storms. The Central American gyre could spawn a low near the Yucatan in the second week of June. Florida, the Carolinas, and the East Coast need to monitor the Yucatan system June 14th target date. A preseason named storm forming before June 7th would be the earliest since Tropical Storm Anna in 2021. On the Pacific side, a tropical system heads toward Hawaii with 60% development probability. Better than 50-50 odds for Hawaii impacts if you have vacation plans there. Monitor this daily. Pacific hurricane season will be very active while Atlantic stays below normal. That is El Nino, folks. Montana and Minnesota are pushing into the low 90s today. That is record-breaking heat. Phoenix struggles to reach 90 today while Montana hits 92. More bizarre weather cannot exist. Amarillo could hit near 100 degrees Saturday, one of the hottest May days on record there. Meanwhile, the Northeast shivers at 20 to 25 degrees below normal for this date in late May. Record warm overnight lows in the low to mid-70s from Dallas through Shreveport into Florida. Late May snow just fell across the White Mountains of New Hampshire same calendar weekend. You better believe it, this is one of the most extreme coast-to-coast temperature contrasts in years. Drop your city below the most requested location gets dedicated coverage in tonight's full update. Here's your action plan for the next 72 hours. 3 things to know before Sunday ends. 1. Texas and Oklahoma. Storm window opens 4 p.m. today and closes 9 p.m. Stay alert. 2. Central Plains Saturday. Know your shelter location before 2 p.m. when storms could fire. 3. Great Lakes and Northeast. The coldest early June in 20-plus years starts Sunday night. New England and the Mid-Atlantic. June 2026 may be the coldest on record, plain and simple. Below normal temperatures do not eliminate severe weather risk. They can actually enhance instability lines. Any frontal boundary separating that Arctic air from warmer Gulf moisture is a severe weather factory. Breaking update today, Saturday, May 30th, is delivering exactly what the models forecasted. The slight risk is active right now across western and central Nebraska and southern South Dakota. Rapid City, North Platte, and the Sandhills Corridor are seeing storm development this afternoon. Hail probability sits at 15% and wind probability at 15%. Both threats are real today. Omaha and Lincoln, Nebraska, your severe window peaks between 5 and 9 p.m. tonight. Sioux Falls, South Dakota is watching scattered severe storms capable of mowing down hail this afternoon. Kansas City and Des Moines are on the southern fringe, isolated gusty storms possible through tonight. Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, Texas, scattered afternoon thunderstorms with localized flash flooding. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Mobile, Alabama face heavy rain and lightning through this evening. Atlanta, Birmingham, and the Georgia-Florida corridor afternoon storms fire and bring heavy downpours. The southeast drought areas, northern Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas are finally getting relief rain. Seattle and Portland should watch for gusty local thunderstorms with some wind damage possible tonight. Here's what you need to have ready before the next storm arrives, and it genuinely matters. Y'all, your go bag should be packed and by the door before severe weather season peaks. Water first, store 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 full days. A family of 4 needs 12 gallons ready before a major storm. Have it on hand now. Non-perishable food for 3 days, canned goods, protein bars, and crackers, plain and simple. A manual can opener, folks. People forget this every single time and regret it afterward. Medications, a 7-day supply of all prescription medications should be in your go bag at all times. Flashlights with extra batteries, not candles, good grief. Candles create post-storm fire risk. A battery-powered or hand-crank NOAA weather radio is the single most important piece of equipment you own. Cell towers fail during widespread severe weather. Your phone alone is not reliable. Heads up. First aid kit, bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze, medical tape, pain relievers, no joke. Copies of important documents in a waterproof bag, ID, insurance cards, prescriptions, and bank info. Charging bank for your phone fully charged, always so you have communication after power goes out. Cash and small bills, ATMs, and card readers go down when the power grid fails. Sturdy shoes and work gloves in your go-bag debris after a tornado or derecho is everywhere. A whistle shouting under debris exhausts your air. A whistle carries farther and costs nothing. Blankets or sleeping bags temperatures drop fast after a severe weather event, especially in spring. Here's what to do when a tornado warning hits your county. Know this before it happens. Move to the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Get to an interior room away from windows. A center bathroom, closet, or hallway gives you the most walls between you and the wind. Get under something sturdy, a mattress, heavy table, or crouch against an interior wall. Do not shelter under a highway. Overpass wind accelerates through that gap, making it more lethal. Mobile home residents must leave and get to a permanent structure. Mobile homes offer zero protection. In a vehicle with no shelter nearby, drive at a right angle to the storm's path of movement. Vehicle last resort park. Get below window level. Cover your head. Never shelter under a bridge. In a high-rise, go to a low-floor interior room. Debris breaks windows at any floor level. After the storm, treat every downed power line as live and lethal. Do not approach it. Never walk through standing floodwater. 6 inches of moving water can knock an adult down. 2 feet of rushing water will carry away most vehicles. Turn around. Don't drown every single time. 4 Arctic air masses for the east. 4,000 joules of Saturday fuel. A typhoon reshaping summer. 3 weather forces coast to coast on a collision course pattern does not resolve until mid-June. Check back tonight because the 12Z European model just printed and the June temperature outlook shifted.